The mountain town of Sapa, located in Lao Cai province in the northernmost part of Vietnam, is one of the most beautiful and exotic places in the world. Breathtaking scenery. Thousands of ethnic minority peoples living in nearby villages make this place a treasure. 50 meters above sea level. Mornings are often shrouded in heavy mist. Ethnic people live as they have for centuries, tending terraced rice fields carved into the sides of mountains, gathering herbs in the forest and hunting for small game rifles. Towering over the town is Mount Fansipan, the highest mountain in all of Southeast Asia at 3,143 meters. Sapa, it is said, is where heaven meets earth. Western tourists usually come to Sapa by train from Hanoi by way of the town of Lao Cai, which sits on the border with China. The trip takes about 10 hours, but it's made at night. Sleeper cars allow travelers to get a good night's rest before beginning their mountain adventure. One hotel, the Victoria, has 3 private carriages for its guests, 2 with staterooms, the third with a dining car and bar car. Reservations are required. The trip from Lao Cai to Sapa is made by car or bus and usually takes about an hour. As you climb into the mountains, there are stunning vistas in every direction and glimpses of different ethnic peoples. There are 8 different ethnic groups living in Sapa district, which has a population of about 35,000. 32% are Hmong, who wear the dark blue clothes traditionally woven from hemp and dyed with indigo. The clothes are made and embroidered by the women in each family. 25% of the tribal people living in the district are Zhao. The most distinctive item of the Zhao women's costume is their triangular red turban decorated with silver coins and red tassels. The prehistoric times when peoples from the mountains of southern China and northern Vietnam began migrating into the area in search of new lands. Some settlers came thousands of years ago, but some came as recently as 300 years ago as refugees fleeing the collapse of the Ming Dynasty in China. They proudly maintain their unique ethnicity. Europeans first visited the area in 1918 when a Jesuit missionary came to Sapa. The French colonialists were immediately attracted by the majestic scenery, calling the area the Tonkinese Alps. They were also attracted by the cool mountain breezes. By 1932, the French had begun developing Sapa as a health resort and as a place to escape the sweltering heat of the Red River Delta. When the French were forced to withdraw from northern Vietnam in 1954, Sapa went back to being a remote, sleepy little outpost and remained so until 1979, when a dispute between Vietnam and the People's Republic of China erupted into warfare. The Chinese people invaded the area, destroying much of the town, including most of the buildings erected by the French. Slowly, Sapa rose from the ashes. Rebuilding accelerated in 1987, when the government recognized what a unique and valuable asset it had in Sapa. Tourism, especially ecotourism, led the revitalization effort. Since then, a number of excellent hotels have been built with all of the amenities Western tourists have come to expect. One of the finest is the 4-star Victoria Hotel. Much of the surrounding area has been set aside as giant nature preserves like the American and Canadian national parks. Ham Rong Mountain towers over Sapa. One of its outcroppings looks like a giant dragon poised to take a bite out of the clouds. The mountain has been transformed into a park, with gardens, ponds, and miles of paved trails cut through rock formations and mountain villages. From the top, you get a magnificent view of the town, and on a clear day, you can even see all the way to China. Climbing to the top requires some effort. Sapa is a very popular place for honeymooners and families who love to bring their children to play and explore. Sapa is a walker's paradise. Be sure to bring comfortable walking shoes. There are many ethnic minority villages within walking distance of the town. You may also want to hike in the nearby parks, admire waterfalls, wildlife, and plants. You will also want to walk about the town and the market. Many people come to Sapa just to walk. The more stout-hearted come to trek into the ethnic villages. Several tour companies will be happy to make your trekking arrangements for a day or 2 or even 3. Sapa is a place of adventure, best seen on foot. The best time to visit Sapa is on the weekend, so you can experience the market. On Saturday, the town fills with native people in tribal costumes, offering embroidered goods, homemade fabric, and jewelry for sale. Some find the salesmanship a bit strong, but a firm, good-natured "no thank you" is usually enough to end the sales pitch. The market plays another critical role. Many of the young people who come to the Saturday market stay for the evening and use it as an opportunity to get to know prospective mates. Near the heart of town is the Catholic Church, constructed by the French in 1930. The building was shelled by French troops during the French Indochina War in 1952. The remains of 2 former parish priests are buried in the churchyard. Services are held each Sunday. About 8 kilometers outside of town is the ancient rock field. The valley is covered with large boulders, covered with carved symbols, the meaning of which is still unknown. Some of the rocks are as large as 10 meters and rest among terraced rice fields. A walk through them is delightful. The Silver Waterfall is located about 10 kilometers from Sapa on Route 4. The falls are 100 meters high. For a small fee, you can climb steps near the top and cross a bridge to the other side. Due to the remoteness of the area, lack of roads, and the traditional lifestyle of the ethnic minority peoples, the primary means of transportation in the Sapa Valley is by foot. In some areas, it is possible to take motorcycles into outlying areas. Walking trails lace the hills and valleys. While it is possible to take small treks on your own, a guide is highly recommended. One very popular side trip from Sapa is a visit to Baka, especially on Sunday because of the ethnic market. Baka is located approximately 100 kilometers from Sapa, northeast of Lao Cai. Getting to Baka is an adventure in itself. The scenery is breathtaking. You will also get to see the Flower Hmong people, who are known for their colorful costumes and headgear. The people are friendly but reserved and not at all aggressive in their desire to sell to tourists. They bring their goods to market by foot or by horses and ponies. Many tourists end their visit to Baka by returning to Lao Cai to catch the night train back to Hanoi. If you are headed toward Lao Cai after visiting Baka, you will drive along the Cai River. For a small fee, local boatmen will be happy to take you on a river cruise where you will be able to see beautiful scenery, including waterfalls and grottos. You will also be able to stop along the way to visit Thai ethnic villages and see how the people live and tend their land. Arrangements for the boat trip can be made in Sapa. Following the cruise, you will go to Lao Cai for dinner before catching the night train to Hanoi. The train arrives back in the capital in time for breakfast. Without a doubt, your visit to Sapa and Baka will be one of the most memorable adventures you will ever experience. It is, after all, where heaven and earth meet.